Looking at break even, this can be tricky. So let's see if we can make this easier for you. So break even is the level of production or sales where the total revenue equals total cost. So this is the level of output where they won't be making any profit. And to work out the break even output, we do fixed costs divided by price minus variable cost. You've got to memorize that equation. So if they sell more than the break-even output, they know they're going to be making profit, which is why one of the good reasons for working it out. So the easiest way to illustrate this to you is just to jump in with an example. So it's a past paper question about Jacob, and he provides haircuts. So you've got lots of data here. The price is £10, fixed costs £3,000, and average variable cost is £4. First thing you do with this, even if it's asking you to do a graph, just put the numbers into the equation, work out the break-even. So we know the break-even output is 500 units. It's not a percentage, it's not a monetary amount. We don't need a pound symbol or anything like that. It's just 500 haircuts in this case. So let's put together this graph. So we know the first thing to do is fixed costs because that's easy to add on. They don't vary with output, so it should be a horizontal straight line. That's fixed costs at 3,000. Total cost, this is going to be the hard one. Now we know that total cost, even if they don't have any haircuts or sells any haircuts, it's going to start there. All these lines are going to be straight, so all we need to get is another coordinate. So I've decided just to plot it to the end. I'm going for like, what would the total cost be at 800? So variable cost, the £4 times 800. And then I'd have to add on the £3,000. So 4 times 800 is 3,200. Add the fixed costs, which are 3,000, and I'm going to get a total of 6,200. So now I've got two coordinates. I can draw my straight line and must remember to label it as total cost as well. And then total revenue, we know we can do the same thing. We know if he sells no haircuts, he's going to make 0. So we know it's going to go from there. We can just do another number to get the other coordinate, and I've chosen 800 again, and because it's £10, 800 times 10, I didn't need to do a tough calculation for that one. It's 8,000. And then there you go, you've got your break-even chart. I've labelled it as revenue. Last thing to do is identify the number of visits needed per month to break even. So I've got where the revenue line and the total cost line cross, do a dotted line down, label that as break even, and it's going to be 500. It's just slightly off on my diagram, that's my mistake. It's going to be 500 units, and I can check it against my calculation and my original calculation as well. So that is a bit the long way around of doing it. It's an accurate way, but I'm just going to show you what I call a cheat method. It's a bit quicker, right? So first, step 1, I work out the break-even output like I did before. That's 500. Then I times the break-even output by the price. That's going to give me break-even revenue. That's 5,000. So I know now that it's going to break even there. It's going to be there. All my lines, my revenue line and my total cost line are going to go through that point. Add my fixed costs on, add my total cost, because I've got, obviously bring a ruler to the exam, it's going to start there. So I just join those two up. I know that revenue is going to start from 0, join those two up. It's a lot quicker doing it that method. You work out the break-even output, then you times the break-even output by the price, and all your coordinates are already on there, and it's a bit easier. Another thing that you can do with break-even graphs is you can work out the profit. So if we didn't have the graph, what we'd have to do to work out profit is that, say for example, they sold 800, we'd have to do 800 times 10, which is 8,000. I'd have to do the costs, 3,000 for the fixed costs, 4 times 800 for the variable costs, add them together, that's 6,200 minus 6,200, and that's meant to say minus from 8,000, and my profit's going to be 1,800. That's quite a long method. The other method, you could just look at your graph and read the numbers off there. So that's going to be 8,200. That's going to be 600. And the distance between that and that is going to give you your profit. So what happens if something changes? If you get a rise in the price, the business needs to sell less to break even. A fall in the price, they need to sell more. Rise in costs, business has to sell more to break even. Fall in costs, business have to sell less to break even. This is called what if analysis, but I think it's probably quite intuitive to you at this point in the course. So why do businesses do these graphs? Well, it can help the business set an aim for production and sales. So that if this person knows Jacob knew his break even was 500 units, he's going to really aim to make sure he can sell more than 500 units, because then he's going to be making profit. And it can show what will happen to profit or loss if they change prices or costs change. And that's it.